So showing properties as a real estate agent is a very key component of our job. And in this video, I'm going to share with you an experience that I had that will help you as an agent, no matter if you are on site with a client, or this video is going to show you specifically how I created a virtual tour for one of my clients. And this is very, very helpful, even if you don't know how to do one, if you've never held camera equipment, you're not sure what to say, and really how to hold the camera. So in this video, what you're going to see is me talking to my client. And also this was a client that I know pretty well, so my language might be a little bit more informal. But what I'm doing is I'm using the camera and I'm doing a tour of the house so that we can actually make it more time efficient for myself, time efficient for our client. And in this case, I had a husband who was with me and the wife was home with the kids and taking them out to their activities. And so this really helped them both coordinate their schedules and have the experience where it made it a lot more convenient and time sensitive. So I've been doing this for 20 years and it's not been forever that we even had the capacity to do this, but over time, I had people that were relocating. I had people that just needed to meet a certain time frame. If we were like, kind of going out and like, oh my gosh, this house is gonna hit the market and I need to make sure that I see it before it goes off the market. So anyway, so I'm in the experience of showing this house. I realized, photos aren't going to work. They both can't be there for me. I don't want to have to go back. We don't want to miss the time frame. And I also want to get her, my other buyer, I wanted her to be able to get my input. Like I knew furniture, I knew the experiences that they had to do. I knew what their criteria was. And so in the second part of this video, I did it in two parts so that it wasn't like 10 minutes. So I did it in like 4-minute chunks. And so in the second part of this video, what I did was I knew like this is an unfinished basement. And so I knew that they had to try to configure it and figure out how to configure it so that they could get 1 or 2 extra bedrooms. One was an easy thing to do, but how could they lay it out with the criteria that they needed? So in that part of the video, what I do is I have a lot of experience doing design and renovation. And so I literally went down there and you can listen to see how I showed them how they could design it, but the experience that I needed them to have first before I started to confuse anybody with what to do next. So make sure you stay for that because that's very helpful, not only in the touring of the video, but also if you haven't seen ideas of how to redesign, or you just want to get my input on how to redesign, then this is a good video for you to watch as well. Okay, so again, I'm going to pop in and out of this video so that you can really take on some key points that I think are important. All right, so enjoy, and hopefully you are able to get a grasp of this virtual home tour just like I did.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. So, do as good as I can with this video. So notice already that what I did is I put the phone vertical, right? So some people are like, should I do it horizontal or vertical? Or if you want to do the ratios, you can, 16:9, 9:16. I find it to be confusing. So do I want to do it horizontal or do I do it upright? There's a benefit to both. So when we do it horizontal, we get the full width. But when we do it vertical, then I feel like you can see the height and you have a little bit more mobility with your hand. Otherwise you're like this. And so opening up doors, if you have both of your hands like this, if you have fancy equipment like a gimbal or, one of these types of things that I have here, if you have that, it's a little bit easier if you want to hold it horizontal, and you can put the little attachment, on the top. So if you want to hold it horizontal, I encourage you to have one of these and then put the attachment. So that way when you're going through, you can open the doors, with your hand, whichever one you need to do. You can turn on light switches and things like that. And speaking of that, I do highly recommend, as I did in this video, to turn on all the lights first, get a feel for the property before you go through, and that will make it so that you can get the flow and even kind of tell the story in your mind of how you're going to present it. You could also get there early and practice it so that you can feel more comfortable and confident. But don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I do it upright so that you can see the whole room. You know, when I have horizontal, you kind of have to go like this, and that doesn't really give, it just becomes confusing. So that's what I do. And then if I feel the need, I'll do horizontal pictures, but some of those should be in the MLS. So that's one thing to notice as you go through this tour. But you have slow close, dovetail drawers, so they're nice. There's a double sink here, overlooking the beautiful yard. These are Lazy Susan and that cabinet. Could decorate kind of fun up top. So lots of cabinets. There's a second Lazy Susan. Lots of room for drawers, you know, for stuff like that. Drawers. Got a nice pantry, so that's nice. So in this video also, I'm mentioning, as you've noticed already, you can see the backyard. So I already knew that that was a really important detail about the house, a detailed feature. So when I'm going through and I'm looking out the window, again, they have a lot of children, and she wants to be able to be cooking the food, being in the bedroom, you know, different places downstairs where she could see the kids outside. So that's where I'm like, hey, you know, notice in the backyard. So for you know, anytime that we have like a key feature for our client, we want to make sure that we talk about it in the video. If we want to make sure that you know, you can say, like, I know that they need extra closet space, or we know that they are a big cook, so you want to make sure you point out like Lazy Susans, like I've done, and things like that. So think about that as you're going through the tour, so that the things that are important to them, you're speaking to specifically and checking the box, which also makes them know that they've been heard. If you are finding this helpful already, please do me a favor. Just wanted to jump in here and ask you to give me the thumbs up. I know that people don't always make it to the end, but it does help me with YouTube, so that I also know that you're liking this and I can give you more valuable ideas and demos. Okay, let's keep going. And then this is the hall bath, which I'm sure you've seen in the photos. So, hi. And yeah, so everything's nice and neat, clean. That's kind of nice, easy to clean. It's got the grooves there. So inside of here is a nice size linen closet. Another access to attic, so there's that. Okay, so here's this room. You've got the little bump out there, and so closet number 1. So it goes back a little bit, so that's a good size. But you know, if you put the beds, you know, in here, then you've got like that kind of wall to play with. You could also take the doors off and just have it be open. A lot of people do that. So when I'm walking in and out of the rooms, notice that I walk in, and then what I do is I kind of spin my body around. So I walk in the room, I pan the room, and then I walk with the camera kind of around me, and then I walk forward. So you don't see my body in it. So that can take some practice, where you know you're watching, like, how do I make it feel like they're walking in the room, and then spin your body around and then walk forward back out to the room. And so that's important. It might take a little bit of practice, but we don't want to go in the room and just spin around in a circle. We want to hold it and make sure that it's experienced, and then step back. So I'm stepping back and bringing it forward. So just kind of notice how I do that. In the bathrooms, you're pretty much always going to be in the mirror. So always, I like to do the wave. And then you have this big space here. Okay, so there's an entrance. You could do bathroom there. I'm going to walk through the design of this, so you can get to the bathroom from this angle, obviously, or the other way. And then there's all this space in the back. So from a legal bedroom perspective, there's this all tucked in here, nice and clean. From a legal bedroom perspective, we know we need to have a window. So this is another access back to the HVAC. Underneath the stairs, there's some good space. And then this is the other bedroom potential. This is where the laundry currently is. So, and then here's outside. So here's my input. So when I'm talking about redesigning, it's sometimes very fluid, but I'm not recording this video until after I've talked through the entire design in my mind, but also collaborating with my client. So I wasn't shooting this video when I was doing the collaboration, but after we did the collaboration, we came with some ideas. In this case, I went ahead and went back, and then I shot the video talking to him and her at the same time. And this is unfiltered, so when you go down and toward this video, know that I'm doing it after we've done the design, after I've thought through it in my head and I know the features. So listen to me, I'm talking about, like, I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to the wife, because she has some very important things that are important to her. Like, you know, she wants to be able to do all the laundry in one place and be able to have like all the kids' clothes there, so that they have 6 with 1 more on the way. So having like all the clothes in a very functional space is important. They have a home office, so figuring out where to fit this into this house is important. And because it's 3 bedrooms and 2 baths right now, but we need to make room for all the kids and we need to make room for an office. And so those things are very important in this video, as far as making sure that I can point out where are they going to make all this work. So check this out and see also how we were able to design it. So I hope this has helped you see how I help my clients. It's a huge value add when we can go in and do this for the client. They were so excited. It really makes us stand out in the crowd for our services. It really helps us also with our ability to save our time and save their time. You know, because I would go like preview the house first, I'd shoot a video, and then I would send them the link and say, hey, before you come out, check this out, because I can go at any time during the day, but maybe my clients can't go until later in the evening. So this type of video is very important and helpful from a value add, from a sharing with multiple people. It's very valuable for your time management. And then it's also helpful when they go back through, or in this case, like talking with contractors, or they're deciding between a couple houses, that they can go back and watch the video. So lots of good reasons why this is helpful. And if you're a relocation client, you could also say this as one of the things, the services that you offer, and you can show them an example of one of the ones that you've done, so that you can stand out in the crowd and win that client. So if you have any questions, do comment below. If you have found this helpful, please give me the thumbs up or make a comment down below. If you would like more information or help about how to do these, again, I am here to help you and would love to shoot some more videos. And if you have not already seen the links below, I invite you to join my communities, my free live masterclasses, join our newsletter so we can give you more tips and tricks. I'll see you next time.